Tonight on Alaska's news source, there's a popular trail that experts say you should avoid right now because of the avalanche risk. We hear why this time of year can see a lot of concern.
And wet weather returns to various regions of Alaska after a brief hiatus.
Plus, getting ready for the birds to return, we head to a field in interior Alaska that is ready for the spring and hear why the preparation efforts are so important.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
The Chugach National Forest Avalanche Center is saying there's an area people shouldn't go to right now due to avalanche risk. It says travel is not recommended on the Byron Glacier Trail and Trail of Blue Ice below avalanche terrain. The center says overall conditions in Turnagain Pass, as well as Portage and Placer Valleys, are primed for the potential of natural avalanche activity. An avalanche forecaster explained why the warming conditions this time of year lend themselves to a heightened risk.
We're kind of in an in-between period right now where we're transitioning from a winter snowpack to a spring snowpack. And when that happens, there tends to be a lot of wet avalanches. And those wet avalanches, often they start off small, but they can run really long ways down the slope and build to bigger size avalanches as they go downhill. And then by the time they get to the valley bottom, like where some of these trails are located, something that isn't a huge avalanche to start with can actually be quite dangerous once it gets down to those lower elevations.
Risk factors for assessing if a trail seems safe include active or recent rain, large temperature swings, and of course, any previous signs of avalanche. He says this is just the start of the wet avalanches. They continue until about June. FEMA says the state will be getting federal disaster assistance for the Mat-Su-Boro windstorm that happened last December. The severe storm brought hurricane-force gusts that damaged homes and knocked out power for thousands of people in early December. Power outages spanned multiple areas of South Central, but multiple in the Mat-Su lasted for days. The Mat-Su and the state both declared a disaster due to the damage the week it happened. FEMA says the federal disaster assistance is meant to supplement recovery efforts. Cloudy skies but dry conditions have remained in Anchorage today, but if you miss wet weather, don't worry, Sunday's the day for you. We turn to meteorologist Bailey Braun for the details.
Oh yeah, Michaela, you know, I am that person. I miss the wet weather, so I'm very excited for Sunday because all across South Central, we are expecting more of a return in that wet weather. Now for today, I wanted to show the time lapse and just show you those low-lying cumulus clouds and even that upper level ceiling, and we are expecting more wet weather to begin to return. Today was fairly dry, but tomorrow, that's where the change really begins to swoop in. Now across the state right now, as of this afternoon, we are looking at overcast conditions for Anchorage and even into the interior, both of which are expecting more of that wet weather to return by Sunday afternoon. But in Ketchikan and Juneau, beautiful sunny skies, but unfortunately, these skies are not here to stay. You'll see some of that rain tomorrow as well. Now for the next 24 hours into Anchorage, at least, you can expect some of those flurries to begin to roll in by early tomorrow morning, and that's going to continue all the way into the afternoon, except it's going to be a little bit more of a rainy mix with a little bit of that rain mixing in with some of those snowflakes as high temperatures reach into the mid-30s for tomorrow. You can expect these conditions to last all throughout the day tomorrow, but for Fairbanks, that's really going to begin to roll in for the early portion of your afternoon, but for Juneau and Southeast, that's expected a little later into the afternoon. Bethel is starting to clear out just a little bit more from these conditions, and you'll have partly sunny skies by the afternoon tomorrow, but lows tonight reaching into the mid-20s for western Alaska, even reaching into the 30s for areas across South Central. And for tomorrow, those high temperatures just a little bit cooler at 35 degrees in Anchorage and still reaching closer to the 40s across Southeast.
Bailey, I saw that 56 in Ketchikan. Well, you may be missing the wet weather. I'm missing temperatures like those.
I love those temperatures, but when it comes to precipitation, I love it. It's great.
To each their own.
It's true.
As Interior Alaska prepares for the arrival of migrating birds in the coming weeks, work is being done to provide a home they can return to. Alex Bengal explains why this preparation is so important to aviation in Fairbanks.
Behind me, Creamer's Field, which until recently was buried in feet of snow, is being cleared as vehicles from Fairbanks International Airport prepare the way for incoming migratory waterfowl. Underneath the snow, green grass smelling of spring is being revealed as a snowblower and caterpillar grader work their way across the terrain where strips of ground are cleared for landing. This snow removal happens every year to make room for a variety of around 100 species which settle in the area, including North American pintail, Canada goose, and trumpeter swans. These efforts also make things safer at the airport.
By clearing out this area, we're creating a more suitable location for those migratory birds to gather rather than near the aviation. Migratory birds near the airport poses a safety risk when airplanes are coming in and landing and when they're taking off.
Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
Some Anchorage architects and engineers had until midnight last night to turn a pile of cans and boxes of food into dragon-themed creations. Now that the construction dust has settled, their sculptures are on display throughout the Diamond Mall for all to see. They are entries in the Alaska Food Bank's 17th construction event, putting over 265,000 cans of food to use as building blocks before it is all eventually donated to the food bank. In the meantime, all 9 sculptures are up for several awards and recognitions, but the food bank says the biggest recognition goes to all the teams for giving it their all year after year.
Really, I want to thank the teams involved. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a massive lift for them when they are already committing their time to doing, things that we might consider to be more important, like building bridges or whatever they're doing. So the fact that they're willing to generously donate their time and their money, there is a fundraising aspect for them as well. The fact that they're willing to give so much to contribute to this event is deeply meaningful to Food Bank of Alaska.
The creations will be on display from now until April 23rd, and you can vote for which one is best. The winner will be unveiled at the award ceremony on April 29th.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.